Have you ever been shopping for a plant stand, seen the perfect one, but then been totally shocked by the price tag? Or maybe you've looked up DIY videos, such as this one, but then thought, I need a full workshop to make one with. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make this plant stand with minimal tools, even though I may use some of my machinery, such as my miter saw. And it's a project that you can do not just in a weekend, but in less than one day. The wood that I'm using is this spruce, which is 131mm by 28mm thickness. And again, I just got this from the big box store. And as a guide for the plant pot, I'm just going to be using this. Let's start with the obvious fact. When you go to buy the timber, it's best to already know what the circumference of the plant pot is. That way you will be able to buy a board that is wider than the pot. Why is that important? Well, if you buy a board that's wide enough, then there's no need to laminate or use dowels like I've done. At the start of the video I said that you can make this plant stand with simple tools and not the machinery that I have. So where I use my miter and band saws, you can easily replace them with normal hand saws. You also don't need a dowel jig. When I did my first dowels, I just used my drill by itself with no jigs or guides. When I'm gluing the dowels in place, you may notice a slightly different camera angle. Well, I call that the chest cam. To get this angle, I bought myself a neck mount for my Insta360 Ace Pro 2 camera. It's something that I'll more than likely use when I'm going to use the lathe. Now the great thing about making your own plant stand is that you decide how tall it's going to be, and also if you could have a few different tiers to it as well. You can see with the legs I put a small chamfer on them using a block plane, which is easily obtainable for anyone. In fact, I will put a link to the one that I use in the description. It is an affiliate link where if you make a purchase I could gain a small commission at no extra cost to yourself. I have to say that when I do these small jobs, one of the great pleasures that you can have is actually manually putting a chamfer on with a block plane. You might think I'm a bit mad for saying that, but try it yourself. When you do any project, it's always best to make parts oversized, and then you can cut them down to the final dimensions later on. That's what I'm doing here by using the plant pot as a guide. leg positioning. I decided to make initial marks at 10mm in from the edges. Then, as you can see, I just used the actual legs to fully mark out the areas that I needed to remove. I also decided to remove 10mm in depth so that the legs would sit nicely into them. Okay, so I start removing the excess with a chisel and mallet. This is how I would recommend doing them if you have the basic tools. However, if you have a palm router with an upcut bit, then I would suggest you use that to remove the bulk and then just use a chisel to clean the edges. I did that in the end just to quicken up the video. To finish a stand off, I just sanded it with 80 and 120 grits by hand sanding, and then also using my random orbital sander. And then I just use Danish oil for the overall finish. And that's the quick weekend project done. As I said, you can do it in one day. It did take me about 1.5 days, but that's just due to filming. Now you could also take this to the next level by, you could put roundovers on the edges. You could even like route out a bit to inset here for the plant pot to sit in. If you've enjoyed this video and you're new to the channel, please leave a like, and why not consider subscribing for more future content like this. Also check out this video. It'll be another one where I make something quick and easy. And until the next time, gang canny man.